And good morning. It is Wednesday, midweek. We're already here as the weekend is approaching, and it is 30 degrees outside as you're waking up. Don't worry, you asked for colder weather. Well, you're going to get your wish because it's coming. We had a little warming spell as we moved up to 30 this morning, but we will be dropping to temperatures of 17 and 21 again very soon. So the cold weather is not over. We're going to get into the forecast here in just a moment and let you know all about that. Now, also, we're going to talk in just a moment about Mississippi Department of Transportation is urging Mississippians not to travel I-55 at all. As of midnight, they had at least 3 to 4 18-wheeler wrecks. People were stranded everywhere. And here's the note of what we've got here from MDOT this morning as they sent this out in an urgency there. I-55 and also I-22 near Batesville there. Please turn around, go back the other direction. People are stranded. It's not cleared as of now. We've had comments and people talking about this all morning there. It is, for the north, you go on 55, the worse it's going to get as you get near the Mississippi Delta. Hold off. There's nothing that you've got to do up there that can't wait. It's a mess. As we'll be watching closely to what's going on in Oxford. We're also going to be looking at how many Mississippians are still without power, a detailed look of it. We had, I think, somewhere around 160 yesterday. We're down to 120,000 now without power, so we've got 40,000 Mississippians power back on. But it is a slow process with many different power teams coming into town. I know EMEPA and I'm sure Mississippi Power has helped as well to those who are needing help. It's tough out there. Y'all imagine staying in these frigid temperatures with no heat whatsoever. We've got that and so much more coming up to talk about. Let's get into the church. We all need to do it. It's church night. They'll be welcoming you. You can go up to First Baptist there in Collinsville. Go visit with them. Let's see what they've got to say today.
Floxinase nihila pifilication. That's the longest non-technical word listed in major English dictionaries. It's 29 letters long. And ironically, this longest word means the practice of belittling something. Now, while it may be one of the longest words in the English language, it's not the biggest. I mean, a strong case could be made that the biggest word in the English language has only 2 letters. If. The word if. Paul uses that word with eternal weight in Colossians 1:23. After proclaiming the truth that we've been reconciled to God through Jesus Christ, which is, that's breathtaking, right? We're holy, blameless, above reproach. He has a small but massive qualifier. If indeed you continue in the faith. Just 2 letters, but infinite consequences. Now, it's important to say that this if doesn't undermine grace. It actually defines the pathway of grace. Christ is our only hope. Christ alone, He accomplishes reconciliation, but those who experience its ultimate fullness are those who remain in Him. So to abandon Christ is to abandon hope. So the Christian life is not this fleeting moment of devotion, but rather a faithful life of perseverance, stable, steadfast, unmoved from the hope of the gospel in Christ. Now, for sure, the danger you and I face is rarely this overnight, outright rejection of Jesus. Instead, it's a quiet drift. That's the true hazard, right? Slowly loosening our grip on Christ, gradually shifting our hope somewhere else. And so Paul's warning reminds us that genuine faith always comes back when we drift. It endures. And so today, don't floxinasinia hilipilificate perseverance. Don't belittle perseverance. Don't treat continuing in the faith as insignificant. Hold fast. Keep believing. The same Savior who reconciled you is the Savior who calls you to remain in Him. The remaining isn't optional. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Hope your morning is going well. Odie, we're going to have to put out a big stress there for more on the offering plate at Collinsville.
New York City.
Syracuse shirt. I mean, come on, y'all. He needs to buy Mississippi State or at least a Hottie Toddy shirt.
Yeah, one of the 2 Mississippi.
Y'all help out in Collinsville. Donate a little bit there. Get that man a shirt there. How's everyone feeling? As I mentioned a moment ago, 30 degrees in Meridian right now. Let's look at radar as we look around at what we've got. Cold weather is not out of the out of the forecast at all as we look here across the great state of Mississippi. As we get up here, 21, and we also have freeze fog advisory going on in the northern part of the state there. Special weather statements there about the weather through 10 a.m. this morning. And as we zoom into all of this, let's take a look here. Oxford, right now, most of the county without power there. Oxford sitting at 21 this morning. 21, the wind chill is about the same. As you go to New Albany, we're sitting at 24. As we go across 21 is basically at 24 and Tupelo this morning as well as we look at all this. And again, freezing fog advisory as this comes across here. This stretches back to west of Dallas, comes across through Hot Springs, Arkansas, Conway, Fort Smith up to Jackson, Tennessee, these areas. Very cold, and it's treacherous up 55. As you'll see, here's 55 going up. Be careful. Be careful. We can't stress this enough. Let's look at power outages this morning of what we have going on in the state of Mississippi. As I mentioned a moment ago, we look good here down on the eastern side. All through here, power's up and running. As we get up to Attala County, we still have almost 1,100 without power there. They were having trouble with schools there. Montgomery County at 2,000. Calhoun County down to 200. Lafayette. Now, if you'll remember, I think it was 21,000 were without power when this began. They still have 17,000 without power there at Oxford. So the conditions have not gotten better. And as I-55 goes up that way, it is hard travel in those directions. Western side of Mississippi still affected, and it's still that path of the storm where it cut across the state northeasterly of everybody without power. Now, on top of all of this, you still got pets. You've got children that are freezing. It's cold. It's tough up there. Keep that in mind. Help as you can. Now, I want to say this. We'll put out an alert on this in writing here in just a little bit. Winston County is warning. And scam artists are really good at this. Scam artists, what they do is they watch Facebook, they watch TikTok, and they get local names. They have now started in the Winston County area sending text and calling and asking for money using preachers' names, saying, Brother so-and-so asked me to call and wanted you to donate some money to help out this. They're scams. If anybody asks you anything, make sure to check it out with someone that you know who can verify this before you give. It breaks my heart that during a time of need, there's people that want to take advantage of others. They're out there. They have no shame. They would take your last penny if they could. There is absolutely nothing wrong with helping, and I urge helping. But make sure it's to someone who's legit. Not some dude that's sitting in a foreign country with a microphone up there making up names. Be careful, be cautious, help when you can, but verify it. Again, that's coming out of Winston County, and if they're doing this in Winston County, it's just a matter of time before they hit the entire state by doing this. And again, they're getting local names and using them. As so, you'll notice all these scam fake phone calls you get now have 601 numbers or 205 numbers in the area that you live in. They're good, and they practice hard at this. They'd rather take than work. We don't want you to give up your hard-earned money to somebody who's fake. So keep that in mind as you're getting your day about and you get asked to help. Just verify it before you help anybody there. As we get into headlines that are shaping America this morning, the guy that you saw in the Capitol toting Nancy Pelosi's podium, if you remember that scene as he walked across her, Adam Johnson was his name. He's decided he's going to run for office in Florida now. He got, I think, 70 days in jail for doing that. He had a big grin, and he's using the picture from it. Will it get him elected? I wouldn't bet the farm on it. But he's out there trying, so we'll see what happens with that as well. We have so far 42 souls that have been lost in this storm since it began last weekend as it came across, went through Texas, New Mexico, all these areas, even through Mississippi and up to the northeastern part of the U.S. 42 souls. It's not over yet. The storm, the effects from it are still out there, and these numbers are still climbing. As we look at this, United Parcel Service plans on cutting UPS 30,000 jobs. They're not holding back. They're pointing fingers at Amazon, cutting the price. They'll have to do away with jobs, they say. That's the way it works, unfortunately, with business. Let's see what else we've got this morning. I've never dealt with this before. Maybe I've never ridden Southwest and just didn't know it. Most places that I've gone is Delta in most areas. You take what you can get. But apparently on Southwest Airlines, you could kind of pick the seat that you wanted. As of today, it's assigned seating. I'm not used to it. I've never had that luxury, so no change for me if I were to fly. It's usually in a cramped space where you have to squeeze in and then try to fit your bag above you. It's not comfortable. The things you see on TV where they got all the leg room, can move around, nah, doesn't work that way. It's tight. And you're just happy to get where you're going, unless you sit in first class. They have made a recall. Keurig, you know what I'm talking about? The coffee pods? About 80,000 of them were mislabeled. That's not going to hurt you. It's just going to make you grumpy. They've sent out some decafs labeled caffeine, and so they're doing a recall on that. So if your coffee hadn't been stout enough lately or giving you that oomph that you thought it did, that's what it is. They'll give a refund. You can swap it out and get what you want. They'll be glad to help there. The first lawsuit is coming, and they're after Trump. The first wrongful death lawsuit has been filed against Trump administration from Venezuela, the boats. That does not shock me one bit. One bit. We go to West Virginia for our next story. I'd show you her picture, but it might scare you this early in the morning. She's been asking people on her internet pages, I'll word it that way, for help to harm the President of the United States. She got a little visit. Some guys with sunglasses, and they usually give you a ride downtown, and, well, it's not working out too well for her. Morgan Morrow is her name. I can't even fathom. No matter what political party you're affiliated with, you don't put out you want to put harm on someone. It's just not smart there. Meta is starting to block people that are putting anywhere on their pages that give the address of ICE agents. That is going away. You can't do that. They're blocking those pages and taking them down. And that's good. If you will remember, Virginia has, since they got the new governor, has gone extremely left. She's Democrat, and they've been going extremely left. It's been blocked from redistricting. They were trying to get, I think they had one last Republican seat they were trying to push out. It's been blocked. It won't be able to happen here. Some people are swayed very easily. Now, if you're like me, you see all forms of headlines and news each day. Some bother you more than others. Some it puts on the verge. It makes them nervous. Utah is where we're going for this story, as a mother was watching. I think she had 3 children. She was so convinced that the end of the world was coming that, well, she left the country. Problem was, she was divorced. She did not have permission to take the children out of country. She wasn't stable. She's been arrested. The father is doing his best to get the kids brought back to the U.S. Again, some folks are easily swayed. Now, don't get me wrong, it is coming. But it's not today, nor does anyone know the time and date that it will take place. She just got a little excited watching things. And as I read this, there's been several different stories poked on this. There's a lot of people that are going after her religious side. I'm not going after her religious side. She just didn't have it together. We'll put it that way. For the first time in years, the U.S. population grew slower than ever this year. Anyone want to guess why? Yep. Illegal aliens were not allowed in the U.S. this past year. It's virtually slowed things down. Wow, imagine that. As we look at this, 90% of crime is starting to come down. The lowest murder rate that we've had in years, all because 2% of the population is not good. Now, I think most people truly understand that. Not everybody will. But whenever you see these things, breaking news stories with protesters, that is just a small majority of Americans that are out in the street. The media usually jumps on this, makes it look bigger than it is, and gives the thought that those folks are running our nation. They're not. They try to make you believe that, though. What else do we have this morning? Let's see here. There is so much that we don't know that has not been released about what happened in Minnesota with the shooting of the man. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was, from what I'm understanding now, they have released that he was struck twice. A few things that are starting to come out on this. You would think it almost that he was a choir boy in the beginning of this. Now, I'm not talking about him. I'm just laying the facts out about what is starting to come out. Did you realize that 2 weeks before this, he was injured in a scuffle with ICE where he had been out agitating, protesting? I'm also learning that, as you've been told, he was a nurse. He had been released from his job, if I am not mistaken, and we'll put the word allegedly, that he had been relieved of his job for crossing lines that he shouldn't. It is sad, sad, sad that he lost his life. I don't know what he did. I have not seen the actual video. I don't want to jump to conclusions. If somebody's wrong, then let's do something about that. But at the end of the day, the man that all this struggle was over, I was trying to find his picture, and I've got it. Here it is. Johnny Enclave Manola, what the argument was about, was a criminal illegal alien from Ecuador. He was charged with rape in third degree of a minor and convicted of endangering the welfare of a child. That's not someone that you typically go protect. There is nothing wrong with protesting in America. Absolutely. That's your right as an American citizen. A lot of these folks that are doing these crimes aren't American citizens, and I just typically don't understand how someone can. They're not citizens, and they're here to hurt you. And it's almost like somebody has been brainwashed into thinking opposite of what the truth is. We'll watch this closely should we get more information on this, and hopefully we will. We need to let an investigation happen to find out what actually went on with this. Now, as we move to the headline of today, maybe you saw it late last night. If you have not, it's out there. And this is a still picture of this. This is Omar. She was at a speaking engagement last night. President Donald J. Trump has given his thoughts on the subject, but you need to watch it. Now, all during this, a man is sitting in the audience watching. The camera passes by on him and stays still on him for quite a while. At some point, this man gets up and seems to sort of charge at her. A security guard stops it, and he has a syringe in his hand, and he squirts something at her. And maybe it did. I hadn't slowed it down. Maybe it did get on her. But she charges him. Now, number one, if that ever happens to you in this day and time, you don't know what is in that, what it could be. One should back up, and you should probably immediately have medical help brought in. Go to the doctor, change clothes at the very least, get whatever it was off of you. She didn't do that. There are those that are saying this could have been hyped. He's been arrested. He's a big old boy. I think he's 55. He's been arrested for whatever reason, and she comes off as walking away from this being strong and not backing down from an agitator is what she wanted to put out. There are those, allegedly, that say that the whole thing could have been made up. Now, I don't know that, but she sure did jump back at him. I'm just saying that the right thing to do is, if anything's ever done like that, there's people that put acid, they do bad things. Somebody does that to you, get checked out quickly because you don't know what they just did. It's all in the movies. You've seen people do this stuff. As we are starting to see in Minnesota, things are backing down. They're changing the guard, so to speak, how things are done. The president has put out this, and I would hope that they would do this. He is asking, as they de-escalate, for help from the state of Minnesota to turn over all incarcerated or active warrant criminal illegal aliens for immediate deportation. Pretty simple request. Number 2, transfer all criminal illegal aliens arrested by state and local police. Number 3, assist federal authorities in detaining criminal illegal aliens wanted for crimes. And 4, must work with federal government in the rapid removal of all criminal illegal aliens in the state. The president says it's that simple. In the chaos. Will that happen? I cast doubt, in my own opinion, if leaders will do that after watching the mayor. And they've said they've had a couple of good meetings. as we were getting, I was glancing at remarks there about you really should have immediately left if something gets on you. Speaking of that, in just a minute we'll have a Metro ambulance with us. We'll just ask that if something were sprayed on, what do you do? He'll be in with us here at the 7 o'clock show. We'll learn from the professionals what you should do in a situation like that. Here's the guy that did it. As we go to X, that's him sitting on the front row there. Now, it could have happened. The guy really could have meant harm to her. I'm not saying he didn't, but my oh my, if he's
hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, he was in plain sight. But you this day and time, you actually never know where. You've seen it in New York, places like this, in crowds where people go up and throw things on. Remember the healthcare official that walked out of the hotel that had his life taken? Some bad folks out there. The only smart person that I ran up on in the news this morning was who's this guy? He's a mayor in the Philippines. He has an armored proof car. If you haven't seen the video of that, the smartest decision that he's ever seen. He's seen taking a corner and somebody launching one. It strikes and his car keeps going. I don't know what they cost, but Odie, we should buy one. It seems like it seems like the automobile of the year. We'll be right back as we get into our forecast this morning.
What they do to train their people, but they're always so friendly. Everybody on the phone is friendly. Everyone who comes out to help is professional and kind.
If we want our team to treat our customers well, it starts with us treating the team well. My grandfather and father worked hard to create a family atmosphere where we care for each other, celebrate each other, and genuinely enjoy working together to serve our customers. That overflows to the customer's experience, and that's hassle-free plumbing and AC.
Welcome back as we get into that forecast brought to you by EMEPA. Great folks that'll help you out there. We take a look at our highs and lows. 57, it was 80 today. Back in 1940, we dropped to 4 degrees. Now, as we look at this forecast for today, we're sitting at 50 for a high. Again, right now it's 30 degrees as we go northward. The temperature starts to change, about 48 there in Louisville. By the time we get to the state line, we're sitting at 34 in the northwest corner, and we're looking at somewhere around 37 around Iuka. As we go down the Mississippi River, we'll warm back up to 47 there at Vicksburg, maybe 49 at Natchez, and a little over 50 on the Gulf Coast. As we look at tonight's low, it's cold, 23 forecasted for Meridian. As we go northward, 24 there, and by Columbus Air Force Base, somewhere around 23, and we're back into the teens at the state line. Tunica should see somewhere around 18 tonight, and we see 17 in that eastern corner, 26 in Vicksburg, and, well, freezing in Gulfport. But that's going to be that way over the weekend, 17, 21. Y'all look out, it's cold weather. Bama looks to be 49 today in Demopolis, 45 in Birmingham. Auburn, War Eagle will see 48 today, maybe 49 there at Montgomery. As we look at this, here's what we are. Dangerous cold expected. Again, North Mississippi being the worst there. North of Eupora, all of the northern portion of the state, South Haven, Corinth, Tupelo, Oxford, Clarksdale, the Delta. That's going to be a level 3. We'll see temperatures and wind chill factors that are around 15. Whoa, wind chills below freezing there. So watch that. Now, for the most of the state, which lies from Vicksburg to Meridian and anywhere from Cleveland to south of Columbus down to Hattiesburg, we're going to be under a level 2. Wind chills of 0 to 10. That's miserable. Low temperatures below 20. My highs at only the freezing degree mark there. Mississippi Gulf Coast will fall under a level 1. Y'all be careful, this cold weather's not over. As we see some normal temperatures out in Texas slowly making their way here. They hadn't arrived yet. Here's our 7-day forecast. 49 to 50 today, that low down tonight to 23. But tomorrow we'll get to 53 and just a warming spell there. And look at this weekend. Friday night, we're at 14. Saturday night, 14. Sunday night, we're still at 20. And Monday night, not much better, 24. So we're frigid temperatures for at least the next 4 to 5 days. Daytime, look at Saturday. The high doesn't even make it to 30. 29 to 30 forecasted for Saturday. Whew, that's cold. As we go another 7 days into this, we'll see that warming trend hit us there into February. About the 4th, things will warm up as we'll see a high of 57. And by Saturday the 7th, almost 60. You might feel like washing a car. Not right now. We'll wait on that, won't we? Nighttime lows will be somewhere right at the 40-degree mark, in between 35 and 40 as we look at that. Now, as we look at our best fishing times today, and again, it's chilly. Perfect time begins at 7 o'clock this morning, about right now through 9 o'clock this morning. As we go down and take a look at our deer hunting, it's still average day, but you can get out there. Calm wind coming northwest around 5. Major times to fish today will be 6:55. To hunt today will be 6:55 to 8:55. Your next best time will be at 12:30 to roughly 1:30. Sunrise happening at 6:51. Sunset rolls in at 5:24. If you're headed to the woods to hunt this morning. So be careful, enjoy yourself, and for goodness sake, take a heater along. Put another log on the fire, however you want to word this. We're moments away from getting the morning show started. Again, we'll have Metro Ambulance in with us this morning. They wanted to bring up a few points. They'll be joining us after 7 o'clock. If you've got a question, feel free to ask Kevin about that. We'll ask Kevin a couple of questions this morning also. Join us, won't you? We got coffee brewing. We can't wait for it to start. We might need an extra cup before this morning is out. We'll see you at 7 at the Scotty Ray Report.